getting knocked down, too much to knock it back up. And I bring the house down whenever the odds are stacked up against me. I know no weapon foreign shall prosper. It's tempting to quit now, but I'm refusing the offer. Feeling like a champion, I can't sleep no Ambien. Killing every beat I'm landing on, to infinity and beyond. This ain't like I work for this, I'ma show y'all what urgent is.
Today we're going to be looking at ways to help you set a blistering PB. We've broken this down into 3 sections, which is your training method, your cadence, and the use of technology to increase your speed.
The first one is to incorporate tempo or speed, as well as interval workouts into your routine. We want you to do this at least once a week. So a really easy place to do these tempo workouts is to get yourself down to an AFL oval or a cricket pitch. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be running around the oval, so we want you to split the outside of it into quarters. And each quarter is going to be at a different pace as you go around it. So you're going to start off with just walking the first quarter. That's going to transition into then jogging the second quarter. And then the third quarter is going to be your tempo pace. So we want you working at about 70 to 90% of your sprint pace. This is then going to transition into the last quarter, which is going to be jogging again. This is going to complete one whole set. And then we want you to repeat these sets around about 5 times if you can. So as your fitness improves, we want you to try and complete more sets if you can. And naturally, your running speed in that tempo interval should get more consistent as well. Lastly, to progress this workout further, what you can do is you can increase the amount of quarters that you do at that tempo interval. So instead of just doing 1 quarter, you could change it into starting off with a jog, do half the pitch at that tempo interval, and then finishing it off with a jog as well, and then repeat that set. This could transition to even longer intervals where you're working at a tempo pace 1 or 2 laps around the oval and then getting in half the oval as a rest period. What you're doing when you're extending the length of your tempo interval is that you're preparing and simulating the longer races. So for example, your 400 meter intervals are really good to prepare you for faster 5K speed, or an 800 meter interval is really good in preparing you for a 10 kilometer pace speed.
The second training method is hills. Hills is one of the most psychologically challenging forms of training, but I know every time I finish it, I feel like a champion. Hills and stairs is a great way of building your running economy and also your anaerobic capacity. Now, this is going to help you unlock faster, more powerful and stronger muscle contractions, which is ultimately going to help you increase your speed. Now, we recommend repeated hills or stair sprints. So how and where do you perform this? What we recommend is finding a 200 meter hill, something that will take you about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes to climb in about an 80% capacity, so a relatively hard effort. What you're going to do is you're going to run up all the way to the crest of the hill and then jog or walk back down to get your rest. And you're going to aim to repeat this 5 times. As this gets easier, the way you can challenge yourself is by increasing the reps. You probably don't want to be running any further or doing more sets than 10. If that's the case, then it's probably time to find a harder hill to climb. Now, the second variable that is really important to increase your speed is cadence. If you're wondering how do I figure out my cadence, then it's actually quite simple. On your next 5-kilometer run, for about 1 minute, what you want to do is count each time your right foot hits the ground. At the end of the minute, just double the amount of times that your right foot touched the ground, and that will give you your stride turnover rate, or in other terms, your cadence. Now, if you don't want to do all the maths, then it's really quite simple. If you have a watch that has these capabilities, you can figure out your cadence through there. So on your next run, start at your normal pace, and then after that, go a minute on, minute off at an increased cadence rate. While you're doing that, focus on quick, light, short running style, and then perform for about 5 to 6 sets to finish off the run. Now, normal cadence varies quite a lot between individuals. It ranges from 160 to 200, and in a lot of professional athletes, the goal is around 180. You can also use assistive technology to help you with maintaining your cadence. There's free apps like Metro Timer, which you can use to set a metronome rate, and then you just have to hold your footstep with that timer for your whole run. We recommend that if you are increasing your cadence, that you don't increase by more than 5 to 7% at a time. If you do exceed that, there's a high likelihood that it could lead to injury. When you are making this adjustment, it can help to do some strength exercises in the gym, something like a double leg hop or a single leg hop, where you're focusing on reducing the amount of time that your foot is in contact with the ground. This will really help complement and increase speed and power in your legs.
So it's really important to think at the other end of the spectrum in our consistency of training and our aerobic or easy runs into developing speed. They're just as important as our tempo runs, as they train the body in a way that's going to develop a really good baseline endurance and your aerobic capacity. This is the type of training where your body can use all available energy production systems for its use. It's also really important as it's going to prevent lactic acid buildup, as your body can clear it at the same rate that it's being produced by your body during these runs. Over time, as you train consistently in these lower heart rate zones, your average heart rate should lower for runs at the same pace. This is really important as it's going to make you more comfortable in your runs, reduce your perceived level of exertion, and also your level of breathlessness. A main point of this though is that your easy runs have to be easy. A certain method that some runners use is the MAF or MAF method. What this is, it's working out your max aerobic heart rate. So the formula they use is 180 minus your age is that max threshold in your aerobic capacity of training. So for me, for example, I'm 25, so my max heart rate is going to be 180 minus 25, which is 155 beats per minute. So a good zone to work out for me is going to be about 10 under that, so 145 to 155 beats per minute.
So guys, try these tips on your next run if you're trying to impress your Strava followers. You'll be hitting your PBs in no time.
Thanks heaps for tuning in. Destroy that like button, subscribe, and as always, keep running.